I'm just going to say welcome, everyone. It is October the 27th already. We're almost at the end of October 2025, and we are working with the root in the root chakra with the Buddha. We're going to continue with the Buddha until I think another session at least, because compassion is such an important blessing and virtue to understand. So we're going to go back and forth. Oh, I got to go backwards here. See if I can go. There we go. We're going to go back and forth through the pages. So I think what I'm going to do with the page numbers is if you can just keep reading through compassion right to the end, basically, because I'm going to be jumping back and forth through the pages. We're going to go, well, you'll see. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible because there's so much information that comes through in each message that it's kind of hard. What I found when I was studying this information, it felt a little bit overwhelming. And it's sort of like what Stefan said the other day, I think it was last class, that he said he wanted it to be more simple. So I'm going back to basics a bit, but it's even more than that because every time I study this information, it gets simpler and simpler and simpler. So it's really quite interesting what happened when I was making this slideshow. So this is the book, Home to the Heart, the Divine Mother's Guidebook to How Things Work in the Higher Realms. And we're in these pages in the root chakra. And this is my website. If you want to delve deeper into the information, the audios for all this information is through this yellow circle on my homepage. So it is a .ca, voiceoffreedom.ca, not a .com. And there's lots of information on this homepage. And the YouTube channel, if you want to get to the YouTube channel to see the previous YouTubes, this Home to the Heart YouTube logo is also there. Okay, so let's start at the beginning by anchoring into the heart. So we're going to ask the Divine Mother to put her blue velvet cloak around us. So just feel that energy of the Divine Mother, her hope, her clarity, her faith, her trust in us, the remembrance that everything is forgiven in the higher realms. This is the blue of peace, and we're all here to anchor this peace within our physical form so that it transpires in our without, on planet, in all the systems. We're here to change the system so that they work for everyone, the political system, the medical system, the educational, the legal, the financial, so that it's working for everyone and everyone is lifted up into equality. So that's why we're studying this work, because this is how things work in the higher realms. There is no hierarchy. So we are not better than nature. We're not better than a blade of grass. We're not better than the animals. Humans tend to think that. Archangel Gabriel told me that once in a very strict voice, that we tend to think we're above everything, and we are not. And that's how things work in the higher realms. There is no hierarchy and there's no control. So let's ask the mighty ones to post themselves around us so that we're in that beautiful healing chamber of their rays. So Michael always goes along the door wall, so you can see him walking across that wall and then standing in the corner with his blue flame of truth. And then Archangel Raphael goes from that corner to the next corner, and that's his emerald green, and he carries an emerald flame. And then Archangel Uriel walks along the next wall with his silver flame. So the emerald flame is all about healing and love and compassion. Green is one of the colors of compassion. And the silver flame is the truth. It's our truth, your divine spark, and having the courage to look within the self. You can ask Uriel for help if you're having trouble facing into fears, to come with you and be with you as you face into your fears. And then the fourth wall is Archangel Yophael, and that's the color of our mastery, the magenta amethyst that Jesus and the Buddha and Saint Germain are connected to. It is the ray of the ascended masters. And Archangel Yophael always has your back. If you decide to step out in public or go into the community and you have a lot of fear, just know that Archangel Yophael is right there along with Jesus, right beside you, to encourage you into facing your fears and stepping out, because we're here to be with the people and just spread this feeling of peace everywhere. Peace, love, and joy. And Archangel Gabriel is in the middle with her golden spiral. That's for all of us, that golden energy of our self-worth and joy and balance and divine alignment. So of course it's right in the middle. Okay, so now what I'd like to do, so this is a little bit different, but we're going to, if you can, just drop into your heart space and sit with the Buddha now in the heart. And he says to silence the mind and simply be in the heart is a discipline, a practice. So when you find yourself in that wheel of confusion, come and sit with me under the Bodhi tree, where we can empty your mind and your heart and simply sit together in the wonderness of all. So breathe that emerald green and drop down into your heart space, and let's just sit in the silence for a few moments. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Council of Love, Council that serves. We gather here this evening, united in heart and purpose, seeking guidance through the doorway to your ancient wholeness. We are your children and servants, companions in spirit, co-creators in form. We walk this planet Earth, Terra Gaia, this ancient garden of green. We've heard your call and we answer now with our hearts, souls, and minds. We come prepared and clear in our intent to join wholly and completely this night with all, with joy, with the divine, with love. We seek our birthright and our inheritance. We seek that which is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be. We seek those blessings in order to better serve our companions of earth, to be of service to the one, to show our love for each other and for Gaia. In this we join our hearts and pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Okay. So when you sit in the heart, it's that practice. And the Buddha, when you call in the Buddha and sit under the Bodhi tree, it's much easier. He will help. And the whole idea is just to be in that space and get to that place of compassion where you're just blessing yourself, you're not judging anything. So anything that comes up, it's like fluffy clouds and floating away. And it's that practice, that daily practice, to come into the heart space.
I love that image.
Thank you. Yes. And I love that this being is looking inward. So when you drop down, you can turn around and look into yourself, and you're looking into all the universes that way. Everything is in the heart space. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good one. It's a good one. I can send it out too to help remind you if you want it through the email. If you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, it's a beauty.
The knowing of nothing.
Yes, so we're going to go into that wording so you understand what that means. Okay, so when you're sitting in the heart, you have access to all of your fields. So when the mind is very still and it's been cleared out of all the old belief systems, just know that you have access to all your lifetimes. That's this blue field. And we really want to get to peace about that. So part of my journey was going in and looking at some of these lifetimes and really getting to peace about it in the state of just knowing everything is forgiven in the higher realms, because we've played every role. We played the good, we played the bad, we played the really bad and the ugly, if you want to call it that. Everything is just an experience here to get to peace and compassion, non-judgment. So if you find yourself criticizing something in the without, it may be because you have played a role like that and you're finding it really difficult to forgive yourself. So if you can forgive and not judge out there, guess what you're doing? It's coming right back, and you're doing that for yourself. So if you're triggered with something that's happening on planet, usually means you have a connection to doing something like that or being like that. And so when you stand out the energy of compassion, remember wrapping it up in the magenta energy, magenta scarf even, it comes right back to us and helps us balance within. So we're in that place of non-judgment. So this field right here close to the body is your ability to calm all your emotions. So it's we know how to do this. It's just a matter of knowing these fields are all around us. Yes, is that Ken?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do we experience um what should we do with the scarf?
Oh, just etherically wrap it around. Like say is there anything that you find disturbing that's happening around you?
Now?
Yeah, well,
Um,
yeah. In your city, are there people living in tents?
oh, I see. Um, I don't really know too much about that. We're in the suburbs and I don't watch the local news. The local news is mostly about car accidents and stuff like that, and it just doesn't seem important.
Okay, but do you feel
For
sad when
local.
you watch the news when you see something about a car accident?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's a great example. You can just extend yourself like you're surrounding it with the magenta energy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anything that you find disturbing, anything that you find like, oh my gosh, why is that happening? So then the higher realms step in and help, and you're extending out a blessing.
That happens a lot when I read Golden Age.
Extend that blessing out, wrap it all up in the magenta.
Okay.
It's amazing how it can calm you inside, because sometimes, yeah, that information can be hard to swallow. There's a lot happening on the planet right now, but when you're blessing it, it actually helps the whole collective. Yeah. So your mental field is right here. So that's how loving you are, how amazing, and how every thought can be loving. Your soul design is here. This is what you came in with, all your talents for this lifetime. There is so much to access in these fields. This is your biggest self. This this yellow that goes all around the outside. It's called your universal self. It's your biggest self. It knows everything about every aspect that you have lived on this planet, off planet, at your angel self, everything. It's all contained here. And then, of course, your guides know everything too. So when you're sitting still and coming to this incredible peace and your mind is silent, the ideas that come in are extraordinary, especially right now, because we're here to help create balance on the planet. So there's lots of projects that are happening. And just jumping out and doing some volunteer work or something in community, even if you're out grocery shopping, and you're smiling at everybody and looking at people in the eye, that is huge for this planet, because we're just here to remind everybody to come into the middle, into the heart space, and to be at peace. Because when we're at peace, then it's naturally being created everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's just good to know that the sitting still is super important, because you're accessing your information that you might not have accessed before. But it's a practice, and it's a good idea. I don't know if I have it right here. Oh, yes, I do. How important it is to have a consistent stillness practice. So same chair, whatever kind of chair it is, you can light a candle, same time with a notebook, and remembering to breathe the colors and drop down into your heart. It doesn't really matter what color you breathe. They're all a vibration and a frequency. Yes, Jane, Stefan.
So I've noticed a huge shift
Oh, good.
for me personally
Mm-hmm.
as I've been doing this healing work. And what you just said with regards to looking people in the eye and smiling, and I think I'm usually a fairly open and easy to get along with and personable kind of a person. I get along with people. My work is in sales, but I've noticed a shift, and the shift is that my energy has changed, and my interactions with random strangers has been so different because of the way I connect with them.
Yeah,
And when I'm looking at them, like I'm smiling, I just feel very different.
yeah.
And that energy is exchanged between whoever I'm exchanging with, or meeting. And yeah, it's a wonderful place to be,
Yay. It is.
right? Like
Yes,
people
exactly.
people receive me differently,
Yes, that's it.
and how I interact is different. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
fabulous. I love to hear that. That's exactly it. It's joy, and it
Joy.
just bubbles out of you.
Mhm.
And that comes about the more that we love ourselves. When
That's
we,
right.
isn't that the connection, Kathleen? The more that we love ourselves, the more that we're willing to share that love outwardly.
That's it. That's
Mhm.
exactly it. Yes.
As within, so without.
As within, so without. You got it, Durango.
Durango.
That's it. So the more you're laughing, I had the most interesting reading today. An actress came in and she says, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not getting any work, but I've got this great idea. And I was like, okay, I can't wait to hear it. And she's done lots of readings with me before. She just wanted a 15-minute. And it was all about her becoming a comedian.
Mm.
It was so fabulous to hear it. And all she could hear was these funny jokes coming in. And her reading, it just it was so good. So when we're laughing, the old system cannot sustain itself.
Mhm.
It just can't. Because there's no fear in laughter, there's no sorrow, there's no shame. You can't laugh and feel guilty at the same time. So the more you're in this joy, this state of joy, it's what the planet needs. And Archangel Yophael has this magical dust that we can sprinkle on everything. So if somebody's just too serious, you can sprinkle sparkles over them. And, we'll get into that when we get into the umbilical chakra, but that's what that's all about. It's lightening up and laughing and being joyful. And when you're in your sacred purpose and loving what you do, it just extends out. It's contagious. And that's where we want everybody to get to. Beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to go a bit more deeper into the root chakra and compassion. We'll talk a little bit about the first dimension. And it's just a matter of being really remembering to sit in the heart space with the Buddha if you can every day, really anchoring in a practice of being listening to your guides and accessing all this information that's available to you in your fields, and really have that notebook and jot down the insights that come, because they're coming fast and furious now. And so the root is all about balancing the mother energy with the father, with the child. So loving everyone equally, going into the family. So if you can bless your father, even if it was a caregiver energy or a stepfather, blessing all the father figures in your life, blessing all the mother figures in your life, and blessing yourself equally, that what brings us into the state of joy and laughter and fun. And this life is meant to be super joyful, out of all fear. So there, and the void is really connected to this chakra, and the void is where everything is. It is the place, the knowing of nothing. The nothing is in this energy, but again, it's just accessed. It's through sitting still that you learn all about the higher dimensional information. So yeah, so there's the whole system. It's a rainbow of healing inside of us. So it starts out as rather an individual journey. And the higher you go into this energy, it becomes more community oriented. But the higher you go, the more you almost burst out into community and start doing more and more work. So see how that's a cluster of grapes, but this is like a single rose here. So it's interesting how it works, but the more we delve into the energies of the colors and the blessings and virtues and the universal laws and the dimensions, you'll see it's just a ladder that you go up and down and in and out of all the different dimensions, all the different levels. And yeah, there's just so much available. The most exciting journey is into the heart and learning more and more and more about yourself and the divine information. It's out there, but it's also the inner work that creates a really beautiful out there. So the focus is looking within. Yes.
I've been practicing this, like dropping into my heart thing on my walks with my dogs as I'm, in the woods.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still trying to get a grasp of it, but intentionally just visualizing and breathing in the colors and trying to drop it in my heart. I don't know. It's something that I'm still trying to grasp.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I wanted.
That's good. It just comes naturally. And it's almost like your whole being is sitting inside of yourself. And so when you're walking, it's good to practice it, but when you're actually sitting still, it can be a bit easier too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And Ken or Lillian?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just going to tell Stefan that sometimes if you go into your heart, it's the reverse where you get all the rest of what you were talking about. So if you go to your heart first, it might help you.
I don't think I understand.
I'm sorry?
I didn't quite understand what you're saying.
Oh, okay. All
Um,
right. Well, you were talking about trying to get into your heart,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, um, never mind. Never mind. I was assuming you could get into your heart. You don't feel like you get into your heart?
Well, I'm trying to feel like, yeah, I mean, I do. Um, it's more of a like a cognitive sort of awareness for me currently, where okay, I'm thinking I want to breathe in and sort of be in my heart. And so I think I'm doing that because I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel safety, I feel connection when I practice that. Um, and I've actually even started, believe it or not, Kathleen, calling upon angels, even though I've never done that before. I've been like, shut, Jane. Like calling upon these angels. I'm like, okay, let's wrap myself in this cloak and
Yeah.
call upon my angels to guide me. And it's all very new to me, but
That's fantastic. Yeah, you're best friends with them, Stefan. They really
Well,
know you.
well, what I gravitate
Did you hear
to
what he
is
said? Thank you for saying that,
yes,
Kathleen.
thank you. What I gravitate to is what you said before, was that they really want to help. And so that
Yes.
I've had recurring in my mind as I'm doing that. I'm thinking, well, if they really want to help, help me, right?
Yes,
Whatever.
absolutely. They love it when we invoke them and place them around us and, because that's why they're here. The
Mhm,
focus is on this planet because what's happening here has never been done before. And
mhm.
then it will be a template for other planets throughout the universes. So you're a forerunner.
Kathleen, what would
Mhm.
be a visual picture for someone like Stefan, who's a visual learner, to look at? Like maybe if he saw something of dropping into your heart that would connect for you, like seeing dropping into your heart.
Yeah, or even just imagining yourself sitting under a tree in your heart space. Like just imagining, just feeling yourself
Mhm. Well, that's why
inside.
I like those, like as I commented on, I like that graphic. Like I'm a
Yes,
very visual person, so I can easily relate to um, like visual stimuli. And so
Picture.
I can take that image and put it in my mind.
yeah, and drop it down to your heart, basically.
Yeah, so that's the one that I don't have a visual for. Like I don't know
Yep,
how I visualize dropping in my heart. I've got an image of, Buddha sitting under a Bodhi tree, but I don't have a visual image of dropping into my heart. I don't know what that looks like on
right.
on a
Yeah.
visual.
So once you do it, you'll get it. It's like riding a bike. So just keep practicing
Okay.
and one day it's just all gonna come together. So just keep practicing. And it's really hard because everybody does it differently.
Hmm.
So it's an individual thing. And but once and it's kind of hard for somebody to teach it. It's got to be experienced by the individual.
Got it.
Yeah, so just keep practicing. Yeah. Darren?
Yeah, I think you just, take that image of the sitting under the Bodhi tree and put that in your heart. So you're sitting under the tree in the heart. And all you're doing is just sitting and watching. You're not thinking about anything. You're just watching what's going on. I watch my breath. I just watch my breath going in and out. And I just concentrate on that the whole time. And that's it.
Thank you, Derek.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll send out that image. And there's another one too. Wait until you see the next one I found.
I, I I don't have a Bodhi tree. I don't have a Bodhi tree, and my old girlfriend has have a some kind of a wild apple tree, and I commune up the tree. I have a dear friend that really spaces out with the tulip poplar,
Mhm,
and so that's close to my heart.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. So it can be any kind of tree. I think because we're studying compassion and with the Buddha, this is what he recommended, but it can be like a garden in your heart too. Mhm. Like how I first started describing it. So it's
It
whatever,
would
whatever
seem to
works.
be- Yeah, it would seem to be, it could be a carrot or whatever. You know, a carrot with roots going down towards the center of Mother Earth.
Yeah,
The center of Gaia, it seems to be a significant point to aim at. And
yeah,
then, the center of the universe, which is unbalanced and hard to find the center there, but you just aim her all over the place and you hit it.
Thanks, Michael. I've tried to do that too, like tried to visualize that as well. Like I look at the chakras and I imagine, okay, this root chakra is going through me and right down through the center of the earth. And so I've done that visualization practice. So
yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, good. And Carrie's probably got some more. What would you like to say, Carrie?
Just that through these meetings, I learned how to drop in by when we put our hands on our hearts,
Mhm.
crossed over,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I was able to then feel it. I could feel where I was supposed to be focusing, and that really helped me.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. Good one, Carrie. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit. This is the Buddha talking, and he's talking about sitting under the Bodhi tree again and what it's like when we do that. So he says, "Greetings, I am the Buddha. I come as the wayfarer. And the wayfarer is one who sits with you for a while, is very detached. So we're not attaching to anything. We're in that state of detachment. And he says, and I welcome you to come and sit with me before we pack and leave everything behind, to wander the countryside, to minister, to bring hope, to demonstrate compassion." So when we drop into the heart space and we really get to that space where we're not judging anything and we're blessing everyone, then it's much easier to be with the people. I know that when I started doing this work, it was really, really intense. And then all of a sudden, I was popped right out into community. And Jane knows this. I started volunteering with women in recovery, and it happened almost overnight. And it wasn't something that I'd done a lot of before. Well, really nothing. I'd volunteered when my kids were in school. And then all of a sudden I was out in community and listening and being with young girls that were in recovery. So it's something that it seems to happen the deeper you go into yourself, and then you reach a new level and you're in such a state of non-judgment and being able to bless everything. It's a natural just to be out with the people all the time and helping lift people up. So he says, "Come and sit with me, my friends, under the Bodhi tree, and tell me, share with me all your worries and your woes, all your hurts and pains, so that they may be laid down, and then tell me your dreams." So yeah, this is exactly what happened to me. I had to sit still. It did take me a long time. I was really tied up in knots, but I yelled and screamed and cried and let go all like lifetimes of energy that was not conducive to me. And then once it had been laid down, I laughed for 3 days. Like it was such a relief. So it's just a practice and just a knowing that you will reach this level where it's a whole different perspective. And then you start working on your dreams, your greatest hope, the knowing of your journey, because there are very few of you. And when I say that, I mean less than a handful that truly do not know what your journey, purpose, and mission is upon this path. So we've all come in with sacred purpose. And the first law that we're going to study, the universal law that will come after compassion, is the universal law of sacred purpose. So this is how important it is to really let go as much as possible at this point, because there's always more. All your worries and woes, all your hurts and pains. So the resentments and the judgments and the guilt and the shame and the anger and the sorrow and the anxiety, the worries, the hatred, the bigotry, the control issues. Just let them go so that we can all move into our sacred purpose. The planets that are higher dimensional, everyone's in their joy and they're happy and they're they're loving what they're doing. We're not quite there yet. But that's the inner work really facilitates you moving into your joy. So you're feeling so different about everything. You're seeing it from a state of being able to bless it all. It's quite
And the
remarkable.
timing couldn't be better.
Yeah, what's that?
The timing couldn't be better for me
Yeah.
personally.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, there's there's always a reason. Yeah. There's no accidents. Yeah. So it's really being in the stillness and in the heart space that changes everything. Mhm. And you can see how happy he looks. It's such a beautiful state to be in when you're at peace inside.
Nirvana.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Okay, to silence the mind and simply be in the heart is a discipline, a practice. So when you find yourself in that wheel of confusion, come and sit with me under the Bodhi tree, where we can empty your mind and your heart and simply sit together in the wonderness of all. And it really does get to that, where you can walk the planet and just bless it all, the chaos, everything. So that's why I say, like, if you're triggered by something in the without, it usually means that we're still holding on to it inside. So for the longest time, I was really triggered by the addiction crisis on this in our city, especially in Vancouver. And then I realized it was because I was still holding on to my old energy around it. So now when I go and I volunteer, which I haven't done recently that much, but I got to the stage where I was just with the people and just blessing them and blessing them and blessing them and listening a lot. Just listening. Because when we're able to listen and hear what someone's saying, they're actually letting go. It's a lot of the work that you may find yourself doing is just listening and blessing as you're listening to the people so that they can get to the stage where you're at in that type of joy that you're in, that you're able to listen. So the more everyone is able to listen to each other, oh my gosh, the best leaders in the higher realms are the best listeners. Yeah. And when the time is right, we will stand up and venture forth to share the knowing of nothing with the rest of humanity. So that knowing of nothing is the ability to listen and just be. And yeah, it's quite a remarkable state to be in. Okay. So what is the wonderness? It's when the mind is emptied. And it's amazing how when you're in that state of stillness, how ideas will come of how to be with yourself, really deeply love yourself, remember your angelic self, remember your grace, which is your loving action out in community, your compassion, your non-judgment, your kindness with everyone, with family members, with everyone in the community. And yeah, it's quite, and if, like, there are certain beings we need to put up boundaries, and there's just there's certain things that have, if you feel you need to do, then you do them. But basically it's being able to honor yourself the most, and then that can extend out into your purpose and your next steps. But it's really a listening state, especially inside too, because you're listening to your guides. Our guides are always directing us, but they don't speak to us in English. Not everybody hears English. So we're learning telepathy through images, through concepts, through feelings. So really, really listening to yourself and honoring yourself and what you need to do to love yourself. Okay. Compassion. So this is the Buddha again. He says, compassion on the planet is so necessary. And yes, it is growing because you are letting go of the judgments of that old third prison that so many were kept in. So this planet, there is a nickname for this planet called the prison planet because we're always at war here.
Oh,
But it's a war inside of us holding on to opinions. So when you let go all the opinions and the stories about the past and you come into the peace, that's all there is. And then you find your joy, your purpose, but you're out there in your peace. So there are no bars left. You don't feel trapped anymore. Feeling like we're in a prison, it's a prison of our own making, the old belief systems. Compassion is infinite and it has the capacity to grow and to grow and to grow. So you can be compassionate and the support you can be offering can be monumental without a hint of interference or judgment. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. But then always keep coming back and honoring yourself because as angelic, whatever you call yourself, light worker, angelic, even human, we tend to overgive. So you have to be really cognizant that you're receiving for you. You're really honoring yourself. So the definition is compassion is our ability to love and serve without judgment, to be able to fully heart feel another situation without entering or assuming that cloak. So remaining in that state of detachment. A tree, if you look at a tree is pretty much drama free, but it's loving everything, but it's very
Wait, so what's the part that's not drama free of a tree? I guess the fall when they go, "Oh, my leaves, they're all falling."
Yeah, but I mean, that's all part of nature, right? That's the cycle of the seasons. So yeah, it just stands there and it basically, if you lean up against a tree, all you feel is this beautiful, loving energy. Yeah, so we want to get to that space where we're not taking on anybody else's stuff. And when you're in that state of non-judgment for yourself, you are like a tree because a tree's not judging anyone. It's just loving everyone. The understanding that another has a chosen path and that we can only offer assistance and love. We cannot complete another's journey for them, for that would be theft and it's tenderness. So yeah, that's the Council of Love's definition of compassion. And these are the colors. So that deep red right to the magenta, which are very similar. So that's that chakra right up to the third eye. So that's the third eye right there on the magenta on the Buddha. And that ruby red of the root chakra really anchors us to the planet. So you can see how compassion is very balanced within the system there with those colors. And it's a very deep green too. So I should have done a tree that was much deeper in color, but that's okay. So the Buddha says you are not there yet because you do hold judgment against those who are still in their drama of abuse, of infliction of pain, of war, of creating suffering. So we do tend to hold an opinion about that sometimes. The best thing I've noticed, I've been practicing it a lot lately, is just wrapping up situations. So if you see, leaders at war with each other, countries, it's best to wrap up both situations. So to wrap up Israel and Gaza in the magenta, bless them both, send them both energy. That's quite the practice. So you're not taking sides. And so you're in a state of detachment. Yes, Ken or Lillian?
Yeah. I was just thinking about the Divine Mother in her cloak, which could help with forgiveness.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Maybe wrap that around if you're having problems with the wrapping of I don't know, what do you want to call it? Discontent or problems?
Yep, absolutely. That's why they've given us all these gifts. We can draw on them, whatever comes to you. Hmm.
But in Israel and Gaza, I'm not there. I can at best try and interpret what's reported in the places where I don't believe them.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, but I think the why they're asking us to stand back is because we don't have all the information. So when you just love them all, love the people of Gaza and the leaders there, love the people of Israel and the leaders, you're not taking sides. So you're not contributing to the war at all. And we're just loving it.
Yeah.
You're jumping up into your angel self and blessing the whole situation. And that's the fastest way to peace.
It makes you love everyone in Israel and love your neighbors that are very easy to love when you look at them eye to eye.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
like
so,
Jesus
so
saying,
much
love your
easier.
neighbor as yourself. So as you're loving everyone, you're actually loving yourself. So if you're taking sides and not loving one group, it comes right back and you're really not loving yourself. It's like an infinity. So the more we send that love out to everyone, it comes back and it balances us in both sides. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's it right there. Good job. Yeah. So he says there is a way to go, and that is why this element of compassion is so needed. And he says it is funny, and I do not mean humorous, I mean strange. One can say I have compassion for those who are suffering mutilation or oppression, and yet there is no compassion for the person down the street who is suffering from an abusive relationship and alcoholism. It starts at home. That is why I've taken effort to speak of the family, the compassion for the old ones, for a partner who may not see the journey the way you do. And the wonderful thing that I've not mentioned about compassion, and one of the ways in which it grows very rapidly, it has a very much reflective quality. And that's what we were just talking about. So as you extend that love out, it comes right back to us, so that we're not judging the self. The self is the most important, because if you can get to that place where you're at peace inside, then you can, it's just such a beautiful way to live your life when you're at peace within yourself. And this is this magenta scarf exercise. So sending compassion to create more compassion. So just wrapping up whatever the situation that's confusing, just wrapping it up both sides. Ukraine and Russia, just wrap it all up. China and the USA, just wrap them both up. No opinion. We're just here to love everybody so that the whole planet can come to peace. The Buddha's healing, the offering of the gift of a magenta scarf or magenta energy around. From our place of mastery, non-judgment, we wrap the scarf, the energy around other suffering, then magically it reflects back to us, deepening our own experience of compassion, love, and non-judgment. So the more you extend it out, the more it comes back, so that we balance in a deeper and deeper and deeper place in the heart within ourselves. Yeah, so it's a real practice, not taking sides. Especially politically, just stand back and bless it all. And I think it was the last slideshow, he said, attach to information gathering, detach, bless it all, and attach to the highest vision for the highest good for the planet. Because the divine knows what's the best for, who could lead in the most higher dimensional way. And if we're in a state of non-judgment, then that person can step into that. But if we're still warring, we're going to get more warring. We're going to attract the leaders that love war. So the key is know war within, extend that love without, not taking any sides, and for the highest good for the planet to transpire. It's like being like a rose or a tree or a bunch of grapes. They're not they're not they're not judging anything. So being like nature, nature doesn't really judge. And there is no hierarchy. The rose doesn't look down on the bunch of grapes and say, I'm better than you. It just is. The rose just is, the grapes just are, the tree just is. And if we can just be, it will improve life on earth a great deal. Compassion has no need for approval. Many of us see disdain and dismissal, but if we remember in that moment of feeling less than, and we say, I'm going to send compassion because this person, this group, this organization has forgotten who they are. So then you just, like if you can feel the energy of, that feels really uncomfortable if you're around somebody and you can switch in the moment and just send compassion, just be loving and blessing, it can shift a whole situation in a room, basically, to a more loving state, because it's traveling out through your field. If you walk in and you are this, it literally can shift the whole energy in a space. And I've seen that happen. And sometimes it can take a little while, but we had on one of the first
Yeah, it'll,
slideshows, we had somebody that
it'll,
said she worked
it'll
on
swap
something
the
for,
whole room, and very slowly and gently, it's changing the whole planet and the
yeah,
whole cosmos. It's so nice.
yeah, exactly. And on one of the first slideshows we did, there was a lady that said she's worked on something for 20 years. And then it finally shifted. It was a family member. And it finally shifted. So sometimes it can take a little longer, but if you keep sending that energy, it will shift. It really will come into this harmony. And that's why we're all here, to create that harmony. So this harmony within naturally will go out into the field. And it goes across the planet and back at the speed of light. It's that fast, even faster than that. So just know we're all really powerful and our fields are huge. So being in that state of peace and compassion and love and joy inside, it really helps affect everything. It's viral, it goes viral, it's contagious, and that's how we're changing the energy on the planet. So yeah, it's like a ladder. So the chakra system, it's like we're going up the ladder, and back down. And sometimes we just go up to here and back down, or we climb up here and then we go back down. It's none of these chakras and dimensions and blessings and virtues and universal laws are better than another. Like you don't want to say the first dimension is not as great as the 12th dimension. They're all equal. Everything's equal. There is no hierarchy. So it is like a ladder system, but there's no hierarchy in it, if that makes sense. We're just going up and down until we all fall into the heart, basically. The heart is a beautiful state of peace and love and joy and compassion. And it just emanates out from the center of our being. And then the Buddha says, so you're not judging them as the injurer, as the predator on your happiness, you let them go. So it goes back to if you're feeling some kind of discomfort, some energy that's in the room, and you switch in the moment and you just bless that being or that group or whatever it is, he says you're not judging them as the injurer, as the predator on your happiness. You let them go, you send them compassion, and you let them go, and that compassion comes back at you. It works miraculously. So just think of the infinity sign. It's going out and coming right back. And he says it is to make it a habit. And also, as I've said, to not assume that you have the fullness, the picture, or the understanding. And you don't need to know. It could be ancient energy that you're dealing with. that was connected to you in another lifetime or off planet too. Like this picture is huge. So you don't have to understand it all. There are those upon your planet who have played very dark roles, knowingly and unwittingly, but what it has done has brought to the forefront the anathema that this kind of behavior cannot be tolerated, that you do not choose as the human collective to go in that direction. And so you practice compassion. So the wars that are happening right now are ancient energy from off planet as well. So just know it's come to the surface for us to come to peace. And the more we're at peace within and we're sending that compassion, it helps. It's amazing. We are so powerful and we don't really realize it. So it's just to keep practicing, practicing, practicing. And using that magenta energy, it does really work. Yeah, it really does. I've had some family things that it's been really astonishing. Now, the difficulty with compassion, it is not permissiveness, but it is never, never judgment. When you're judging yourself, as all of the higher realms have said, it is never of love, but it also diminishes you. So when you practice, when you stop yourself and you say, no, no, compassion. So if you are being hard on yourself, because we tend to do that, we tend not to be so nice or, as uplifting to the self as we can be to other people. The Buddha says, just stop that, because that's really harmful to the self, to the bigger self. It really hurts our guides and our bigger self. And then it allows the deeper understanding of the why and the attachment to the higher vision, the true vision of who you are or who another is. In that way, you move along, and it is literally a practice, and you're given thousands of opportunities every day to practice compassion with yourself and with others. And I'll show you why. Because daily we take 17 to 30,000 breaths and have 50 to 70,000 thoughts. That's a lot of that can be where we're hard on ourselves, but the Buddha says to be super conscious, be really aware of when you're doing that and just stop it. Just say, no, no, compassion, and really get into that, knowing everything's forgiven. We're not here to judge anyone, especially the self. So look at all, like up to 70,000 opportunities a day. And when you do that, you're actually practicing, this is 10th dimensional. So this is throat chakra work. So from here, you're jumping all the way up into your throat chakra and really practicing harmony. So not only are you practicing it here, you're practicing it here, you're practicing it here, and you're practicing it here. So that spans almost the whole chakra system, just working with compassion. So in this color, this magenta color is red and blue. And blue is the knowing that everything is forgiven. So there's a lot of forgiveness in this understanding of the third eye, the wisdom of the third eye, and being able to bless everything. So it is a state of forgiveness, knowing everything is forgiven. So it is to make this a practice, to stop yourself as if you have a hiccup and to say, well, is that of judgment or is that of compassion? Until it is simply, wonderfully, completely second nature. Yes, Ken.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I must have blanked out on this, but I was trying to understand what well, could you go over how the root chakra is related to the blue?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so this color is really deep red. And you can see, so this is the root chakra here. And then this is the third eye up here. So let's see if I have the system somewhere. Oh, right here. Here we go. So there's the root chakra. And it's a deep red. It's a deeper red than the next one that's right above it. And then this one up here, which is the magenta of the third eye. So that's in the middle of your forehead. So think base of the spine and then third eye. This one is the perfect blend of red and blue. So there's the blue energy in the understanding of wisdom, the wisdom and compassion of this chakra right here, the third eye. And what is the blue? But hope and peace, but it's knowing everything is forgiven. So that in order to master your wisdom, part of that is knowing everything is forgiven. You are forgiven. We're here to make sure everybody understands that they are forgiven. The Divine Mother, Father One hold no judgment of anyone, and that's compassion. And
Okay.
wisdom is being
Then
able
I'm
to
a little
bless it all. Yes.
I'm a little confused because the ruby red says it's compassion. Um, and how is that different from the magenta? Or
So
is there?
compassion is 3 colors. See how
Oh,
I said compassion here? See how it's the deep red, the deep green, and the magenta? Same.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 3. It's the only one that's 3 colors. And look at where it's placed. It's placed at the bottom, in the middle, and up in the third eye. Yeah, it's 3 colors. It's
So
real
it's
master.
red, blue, and green.
Yeah, and the magenta. Yeah,
Magenta
there's
gives-
blue in the magenta.
Okay.
Magenta, the color magenta is made up of red and blue.
Right.
Yeah, and it took me a while to figure this one out too, because I'm like, yeah, but blue is forgiveness of everything. That's what creates peace.
Wow, my favorite color.
And what was the green again, please?
The heart chakra, love, healing.
Okay, so it's compassion is the red,
Yeah,
green of the heart,
yeah,
and the blue.
yeah. It's
Uh,
blue of peace in the magenta.
Okay.
The color magenta is made up of red and blue.
No, that I got. I
Mhm.
was having trouble with the green, but
Yeah, it's just that compassion's made up of all 3 colors.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it's in the root. We want to be a non-judgment with mom, dad, and self. That's what the root is all about. Loving everyone equally in the family. And the heart is just loving everyone, no judgment of anything or anyone. And then the third eye is mastery of blessing everyone, knowing nothing is judged in the higher realms. No judgment. Judgment is the only mistake we make here. Judgment of self and judgment of another. When we forget everyone's divinity. And that's compassion. Compassion is non-judgment. To love and serve without judgment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let that one sink in.
Okay. I can send this to you if you want to study it.
Please.
Okay, I will do that. And I'll write it up for you.
Thank you.
Kathleen, is that in the book,
This one?
this slide? Is that in
The
the
one
book?
with the ladders?
Yes.
No, it's not. I can send it to you.
Okay.
I made this up because Stefan was trying to figure out how it all works together, and I was just showing him this is just a ladder system. We're just going up and down. Yeah. A lot of a lot of these slideshows are even going deeper than the book.
That's what I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because it just happens when I'm making them. And from your questions too. Because then I'm like, oh, I didn't really explain that in the book. Well, I can explain it in the slideshow.
Well, I'm going to print it out and I'm going to put it in my book, Kathleen.
Okay, and I can send this out and then you can print it from the email too if you want.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yes.
would like to see your book also. I'm waiting for that one.
Uh,
Thank you.
Oh, okay, you can order it on Amazon. Yeah.
Your
Yes, Yes, I haven't got my copy here.
I do.
Yeah,
This
there we
book,
go.
Michael. That's Kathleen's book, available on Amazon.
Mhm.
Ms. Gerber's book that is still in the writing, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, well, this one has been out since July.
Yes, I'm working through it slowly. I go back, I have to read this chapter again and again.
Yeah, okay, good, excellent. Okay, so, yeah. So all the Buddha is saying here is that there have been beings that, and we all played these roles where our behavior has been out of alignment, but that's okay. We wanted to have these experiences. So when you're blessing a leader, say that's, creating war or whatever, when you're blessing that being, you're actually blessing yourself. It comes back and blesses you because no doubt we have done that as well to lesser and greater degrees. We've all been leaders. We've all been involved in war. So it's just the nature of the planet, the journey, what we've been involved in. We wanted to play all the roles so that we would reach this level and master compassion so that we could bring everything to peace. Yes, Ken.
I was just wondering whether or what blessing is. Is that a combination of um, some of what we've been talking about?
Yes, and it's really just being so grateful for everyone and all their journeys. So then you're really grateful and turns around and you're really grateful to yourself.
So it's compassion.
It's compassion, it's gratitude, it's love. It's really all the blessings and virtues. It's remembering the divinity of everyone and just saying, I see you as divine. Mhm. Everyone is, no matter what we've done here. Mhm.
You played all the
Yeah.
roles.
Yes, you played all the roles. Yep. So yeah, wrapping up in the magenta energy is it's very powerful. And then it comes right back at you so that you deepen your non-judgment of self, your love for yourself. Yeah.
You can break down that word compassion to come pass it on.
Yes, that's true.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Come to Earth and pass it on.
Come pass it on.
I love it. Very
Your
good.
eye.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Kathleen. You stare at something long enough, out it comes.
Out it
Could
comes,
also
yeah.
be, oh, pass a ion.
Come pass it on. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, okay. So now, I think, oh yeah, we did do this. Thousands and thousands. We are practicing compassion. We're holding the higher vision while taking sensible action. So sensible action is making sure that you are loving yourself and really taking care of yourself. Because if yourself isn't taken care of, it's hard to go out and do it and be it for everyone else. So really bring it back. So it's the give and the receive. Really bring it back to the receiving and making sure that you're being that compassion for yourself and taking care of yourself. Going forward, not contributing to the chaos and the mayhem, holding the higher vision. So yeah, it's a practice. It's us learning how to balance, and we're all doing so much, in our daily lives that it's a real practice. Okay, so there we go. We have lots and lots of opportunities to practice being that non-judgment, especially when you're watching the television or the internet too. Just if you catch yourself taking a side, just jump back and just 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 wrap it all up with something, and then wrap yourself up too. So yeah, it's just a practice. We're learning. Oh, and this is this other picture that I found.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I'll send this one out too. Yeah, she's just sitting there looking at the tree. And then I put this because this is in there as well, that tri-flame. And I have to say, I've learned more watching that than anything else.
Is
I've
that a
seen-
Bodhi tree? That looks more like a.
I don't know what it is.
No, I don't think that's a Bodhi tree. I think that looks
No.
like a beech or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But we want to be in this state of peace and serenity inside the mother's energy. This is healing. This is you forgiving yourself for everything. And then staring at that flame. So this is you in gratitude for yourself, at peace with everything, and this is your grace with the spark of truth in the middle. And then when you're ready, you just fly right through that light into your golden temple on the other side. Oh yeah. I'll send out, yes, Ken.
Yeah, I was wondering how the Yofi dust is part of this of what we're talking about.
It just lightens everything up. It makes people giggle. So the happier we are, the better. So when you sprinkle, you can sprinkle that. They've given us so many gifts, and it's very sparkly. It's very, it's like fairy dust. And then we'll get into it when we study the umbilical chakra. But yeah, you can sprinkle Yofi dust on anything. If somebody's really grumpy, oh my goodness, just remember that you have this magical dust that you can sprinkle. The key is remembering in the moment, because the problem is we've all been traumatized here. And when you're in the energy that's really uncomfortable, we tend to freeze and forget. We
That's
freeze and forget. So we're getting to the point where we're relaxed. And I was doing some work with one of my clients she had a really, 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 really anxious life. And we got into, so we tend to have a phrase that we will say over and over and over to ourselves without even realizing it. So I'm never enough running from childhood on into my, until I was almost 50. When I discovered that's what I was saying underneath everything, it was subconscious, unconscious. I immediately changed it to I am enough. And then I would repeat that to myself until that anchored in. Well, this person that I've been working with couldn't even say, it was a very anxious statement she had. And so when we changed it into the opposite, I am relaxed, there was so much resistance to even saying that. It was extraordinary. The more relaxed we are, the less pain we will be in. So if you've manifested any kind of pain in the physical form, just to say I am relaxed will bring the body into a state of peace. So that's if you're really struggling with the freezing and the holding your breath, as saying I am relaxed, making it into a mantra over and over and over until your body actually is in a state of relaxation all the time can really help. Because we tend to, we've just been traumatized here. I've never done a reading where someone has not been traumatized by something. Never. And I've done thousands and thousands of readings. So we all carry it, and it's lifetimes. We carry 6 generations of trauma in the physical form down from the family line, both mom, dad. So it goes grandparents and parents, and it just goes down up, into the generations. So we're really breaking the pattern of trauma and anxiety, the belief that we are separate from our divine self in this lifetime, and doing it very rapidly, actually, for thousands of years. And to do it in one lifetime, it's pretty extraordinary. So just know it's really big work, and it's just a practice. But it can be done pretty rapidly now with the energy that's on the planet. Yeah. Very exciting. Really exciting time to be alive. But I think that's, oh, there's that one. Yeah.
So beautiful.
So amazing. Yeah, I love how they're looking out, like into themselves. Like you don't realize it, but you're looking into yourself, which is the universe. There's so much inside of ourselves.
I know.
Mm.
That's supposed to be a mirror, right, Kathleen?
Yes, it could
He's
be
looking- that's
whatever
what I
you
thought.
want it to be.
To me,
Yes,
it was a mirror.
yeah, mirror,
At
but then
yourself.
yes, yes, it's all your information. It could be the golden temple, that you fly into. It's like it's just so much. It's whatever you want it to be. I just thought it was such a neat way. I liked it because it was sitting under the tree and facing inwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this one, facing inwards. You want to be looking into yourself when you're inside yourself. And it's best done. You can do it when you're, out walking in nature, but it's best done same chair, same time with the notebook, even if it's 5 minutes a day. And then you can build it. When I was doing my letting go work, every morning, 8 o'clock, and I was working with cards to do my work because it was driving up all the old energy. Some days I'd sit still until 10 o'clock at night. So that's 14 hours.
Yeah.
It was so fascinating. And when it came time when I really, it was about 9 months doing that. When it came time for me to get out and like I had to get a job, I just had to. Archangel Michael literally had to take me by the hand and take me to my interview that had been set up because I didn't want to leave. I was so fascinated doing this work, but yeah, couldn't do it. I had to get out. So literally I was taken by the hand. And then once I was out and I was okay when I was doing the work, I was super happy and in a completely different state than I'd been in 9 months ago, 9 months earlier. So it can get very, very fascinating. So what I say, do it in moderation. It doesn't need to be done the way that I did. I had a very intense journey to go to get to this stage. Moderation is key. Start with, 5-10 minutes, it builds to half an hour, consistently every day. And it can be just 10 minutes. It really doesn't take much. Okay, I'm sure we've gone way over, have we? Maybe not. Oh, gosh, 7:22, I went way over this time. Okay, so if you need to go, always know that you can always just slide out. But at the end, we do like to send love. So if you want to send love for 10 minutes, welcome you to do that. I'm going to sit here and do that. And then, yeah. So up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'll put myself on mute, but unless anybody has any questions, I didn't even ask. Any questions? No? Okay, we're good. Okay, so if you'd like to send or stay and send love for 10 minutes out to the planet or from inside your heart, and just know that your field will expand it out, but just sit quietly in your heart and practice being in that non-judgment, like the compassion, like the Buddha says. It will naturally go out in your field. You don't have to really do anything. Just be that in your heart, because we're really practicing the stillness from the heart center. So I will set the timer for 10 minutes. I'm going to put myself on mute and we'll breathe that green and just drop into the heart, sit under the Bodhi tree with the Buddha. Okay, and we'll see everybody in 10 minutes. Okay. That was 10 minutes. Goes by so fast. Mhm. Well, oh, Ken, you have your hand up. Did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
While we were meditating, Alice gave me a good definition of compassion.
Oh, good.
Um, Loving everybody for who they are.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Beautiful. Thank you. Alice is one of Ken's guides. So he has a really good connection. So, and you can hear words, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for some reason I can hear words
Mm-hmm.
English.
in,
English.
well, no, not in Hebrew or anything, in English.
Okay, so I don't necessarily hear words. I get big concepts of things. So whole things will come in like, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, that's how that works. And then I make like images or whatever. So everyone's quite different how they receive information. So don't worry if you can't hear words. We are learning telepathy, which is not necessarily words. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank
I,
you. Yes.
I was going to say,
Mhm.
it took me a couple weeks. I was in Kroger's, a couple weeks ago, I was in Kroger's.
Yes.
And I picked up this, it was a utility knife.
Yes.
And I stood there and I don't hear my angel. I have tinnitus, so I don't hear things.
Mhm.
And I stood there and all of a sudden this gentleman walked up and he was standing there looking at something else. And I looked at him and I thought, well, I'll ask him. So I asked him if this utility knife, if he knew anything about it. And he said, yeah, it's a good knife. I have like 4 of them. And I thought, well, if he's got 4 of them, they must be decent. So I
Yeah.
went ahead and bought it. And then I came home and I started to think about it and I thought, now what are the odds that I'm standing in a Kroger store and this gentleman just happens to walk up and I thought, oh, okay, Josephina, you sent him there. And that's my guide. And I thought, how many times in my life has something like that happened? And
Mhm.
I have not realized that Josephina sent somebody to help me.
Mhm.
And I thought, I've never thanked her for all those hundreds of times that she has sent somebody to help me.
Mhm. Well,
And
this is
so,
a good opportunity because I heard to thank our guides right now.
right,
When I
yes.
was sitting in meditation. So you, yeah,
And
which
I
we
thought,
should be doing every time after these sessions. We should be thanking everyone. Sometimes I do, and I'll be like, thank you, thank you, thank you for everybody that's here present. This room, this apartment is full.
right,
And so, yeah, so we can all take this opportunity to thank our guides for looking after us for lifetimes. Oh my goodness, this is not just one, one
for the big
lifetime.
things and small things they do for us. For the
Exactly.
simplest little things that they do for us,
Yeah,
along with the huge things that they do for us.
that's
Yeah.
right. Constantly, like every
Yes.
day, 24/7. You've got at least three, if not more, that are constantly watching over you and have forever. Forever. It's very rare that they change. Good one, Lillian. Thank you very much. So thank you, everyone that's present in the higher realms, watching over us and guiding and directing us every day. Mhm. Beautiful. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to end the recording and I'm just going to say thank you, everybody, and we'll be back again next week.